windows everywhere. It's a case of
We are live across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, possibly Instagram.
oh shit.
Um, I know. So yeah, we're live.
People will
Curse your
definitely find
language.
me. Tell them I'm in China, will you?
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone who is watching. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening if you are watching on replay. My name's Andrew from Relentless, as most of you know, and we're going to start doing a series of interviews with Relentless members. And I'm very pleased that I'm joined today with a very good and long-standing friend, and also, coincidentally, a Relentless member. Roger, good morning, Roger.
Good morning, Andy, or good afternoon. Nearly here now.
Of course. So where are you coming to me from in the world?
I'm coming to you from a little place called Cyprus.
Ah,
It's a little ditty island somewhere in the Eastern Mediterranean.
nice. And that is something not a lot of people know about Relentless. It is global. We've had members in Canada, America, New Zealand, Cyprus, Germany, predominantly the UK, but we do like to think ourselves as a global business which is growing. So it's fantastic to have you on today. So make us jealous. What's the weather like today?
Sunny.
Nice.
If I'm sitting outside, it's too hot.
Right.
I've thought about going for a swim, but you know I lie.
So thank you, first of all, for agreeing to do this. What we wanted to do was sort of show people that Forex isn't about what a lot of people will see on Instagram and Facebook. It's not about Lamborghinis. It's not about scantily clad women around swimming pools. I know, Vegas trips and all that. It's about normal people like you and me. And we've known each other now, I don't know, it's probably coming up to 6-7 years.
Bit longer than you think, but yeah, long enough.
Or so. So, could you give us first of all a brief history of you? You'll be similar to me, sort of mid-40s now. You know, what was life for Roger? You know, just a quick sort of synopsis: where were you born, job, later life, stuff you've tried, and trying to get us to a journey of how you ended up learning about Forex.
Right. First one is born in Devon,
Mm-hmm.
in a little village where everybody knew everybody and I was always in trouble.
Right.
Second thing was that I had a great childhood, but I had no confidence. So I joined the British Army.
Okay.
Spent 5 years in the British Army. Really, a lot of it sailing boats, but that's neither here nor there. Got a problem with my ankle, could no longer soldier. They gave me some money and told me to leave.
Okay.
During that time, I got married to a lady who, not my current wife, the first one. And I spent 13 years, we went up north to Haydock. Spent 13 years, worked for people like Schweppes and L'Oreal.
Nice. Because you're worth it?
Well, yeah. I wished, in retrospect, I'd never left L'Oreal. Probably the best company I've ever worked for.
Okay.
But over time, I got divorced. I met my current wife, and then we started our adventure of basically entrepreneurship. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. I ended up in the early 90s working for a corporate hospitality company in North America. Spent just under 6 years there. A 40 plus year old man working with young 20-year-olds. It was quite interesting. But this is how we got into looking at Forex, really, because Barbara couldn't work. And she couldn't even work for charity because she didn't have a social security number because she was living through my visa. So she decided one day to look at stock trading.
Okay.
Bought a computer, our first ever computer. And she worked with a group of guys called thefool.com.
Yes.
And quite simply, she became very good at it, and to the point where when we had to leave America, well, for various reasons, we came back to England, and the money we made bought our house. So it's not bad from buying a $128 laptop, gateway laptop, to being able to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
We then worked for a company, which is not really our bag, but we did. And in the end, we left there mutually, and we started and thought, what can we do? and we foolishly opened a laundry,
Okay.
which we did for 8 years. It was the hardest work we've ever done. It was slave labor, and we were the slaves.
Right.
And we sold it, how long ago? About 7 years ago. And we had not enough to be able to, well, to say that we live well, but it wasn't the kind of life we wanted
Mhm.
for various reasons. So we came to Cyprus for a week on holiday, and that was 7 years ago, and we're still here. And there are 3 stages in life, right? There's stage 1 where you're born, you go to school, and you become an adult. There's stage 2. These are third ages, really. 3 ages, you become work and everything else. And then the third age is you retire.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not going to say woe is me. I can't afford that. I can. I live well. But the fact is, life has to be more than Sudoku, crosswords, and jigsaws.
Yep.
So we knew we had to find something, because we just had to find something. And I kept in touch with you for various things. And then this thing called Relentless popped up. And I had enough faith in you. To be honest, we thought, well, we'll put 50 quid a month into this just to support Andy. Because that's what we did. And we kept in touch. We kept going along. And then round about the middle of the year, when something happened, and an epiphany happened, and I knew personally that I had to do something to make every day worthwhile.
Mhm.
So I thought, what can I do? And I thought, Hankin, I'm going to look at that again. So we did. When you were doing cryptos at the time, and we were in and out of cryptos. I still think they're not a bad idea, but about that, what do I know? And then we looked at Forex.
Mhm.
Now, I'd actually come across Forex when one of our customers in the laundry sold his business. And I used to have to go and collect his laundry, and his wife said, "You have to be quiet, because he trades currencies at night." And I thought, oh. But, he suddenly upgraded from a Porsche to a Lamborghini. So I thought, we must be making some money.
Mhm.
So then we got back in touch with you. And that was in October. Seems like it was years ago now.
Mm.
But we didn't really actually physically get into it until just before Christmas.
Okay.
Then we were told everything shut down. So that was good. I'm a bit more adventurous than Barbara. Barbara's much more research orientated. She's been going through the Candlestick Bible, I think, for about the 5th time now.
Okay.
She's out looking for all the kind of things that I don't. I'm very much probably an Andy Hankin, I suppose.
Bit more impulsive.
Yes. But I'm getting better. To be honest, apart from computer glitches, the last about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, which really put me through, because I'm not a technophobe. If I turn it on and it doesn't work, I'm tempted to throw it through the window. But if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't made mistakes because I didn't know how that worked, I would probably be in profit at the moment.
Okay.
I wouldn't say I'm doing anything right. I'm not saying I'm doing anything wrong. It's just I take all the things that I learn from Pete, because I do TNS. I love TNS.
Okay. So just explain to those who are new to watching us what TNS is.
Every day, or certainly Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, although we do Monday and Friday as well. That's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it? Pete comes on and trades with us. He basically does what he does every day. And
over the shoulder learning.
Sorry?
Over the shoulder learning.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And he's very, very patient. He puts up with the group of us, and the group is ever growing. But we now interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
When Pete's not there, we do TNS anyway.
Yes.
Because why not?
Yeah.
There are people there of all different ilks, all different ability levels. And we all interact and help each other and look for setups and all kinds of stuff. So I have actually made money from when Pete's not been there, from talking to the other guys. And it's a friendly group. and we're the most disparate group of people you've ever met, from truck drivers, which is Sarah, who said, "Ooh, who are you interviewing?"
Yeah.
To Natty, I think, who does window cleaning, to
Thanks,
John.
He's on tomorrow.
I'm not sure what crazy beast John does, but what the hell, you know?
Bit of everything, John. Bit of
I
everything.
think so.
It's a young version of you and me.
Yeah, yeah. And there was Gav down in Devon. Well, I know where he lives. I know my relatives lived in the same Ford Park like he does. And then there's your mate, Mayonnaise, Pete.
Oh yeah, Mayo. Yep.
Yeah, Mayo. So there's all these things that and you know, we all get on. Because as you can see, I'm probably the oldest member of Relentless. I don't think there's many older than me, but it's
possibly.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I don't need any physical strength. I could be sat in a wheelchair. I could be sat, as long as you've got Wi-Fi, as long as you've got a decent. We haven't. We went out and bought 2 second-hand computers from a company in Paphos, in Nicosia.
Because there was a problem with Apple and MT4, wasn't there? I remember.
All kinds of stuff. So we went out and spent a few €100 on a couple of second-hand Dell laptops, and we can trade.
Yep.
You know, it's the easiest thing in life I've ever done, but the hardest thing I've ever done, because it is frustrating at times.
Absolutely. And, you know, just to touch on, ask you another question. So, you know, when we first got together, you were extremely successful and very modest and humble about it, but you're extremely good with people and you're extremely good at building teams. And you've had a number of successful multi-level marketing businesses. And with Forex, you know, there's a plethora of educational companies out there where you can make significant amount of money earning while you're learning via the MLM model. It's not something which we wanted to go down, but I know Bob's big into research and stuff. How come you moved away from being extremely successful in a number of businesses globally on a network marketing thing to something where you get nothing from us? Well, you get the product, but in terms of people you recommend to Relentless or people who come along, there's no monetary value in it for you, is there?
No. If this was an MLM company, even though I know you very well and I'm a great admirer of Andy Hankin, I wouldn't have done it. Because the trouble is with MLM companies, it's all about politics and ego. Mine's bigger than yours. Show me mine and I'll show you yours. And in the end, I just didn't enjoy it anymore.
Okay.
Like going out. There was a time when I would spend 7 days a week going out every night doing opportunity meetings for network marketing, going and doing trainings, organizing it, spending my money, organize the training for the people who are in our team. And in the end, it just became passe. It just became, I made a bit of money, but not a lot. I spent most of it back in it, making it. So if this was an MLM, I wouldn't have done it. But what I like, I've always been involved in personal development in one way or another. Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, all these people. And I even got a bit fed up with that because they were all saying, you know, the latest guru. You know, we did a thing, a network marketing thing, a networking thing, where you'd be there with all these people and then the coaches would come along. I will become your personal coach.
There's always a coach.
You sit down with them and you realize they're just reiterating the stuff that I learned in the 60s. To be who was I forget what the guy's name then, but anyway, I learned things in the 60s and it's all the same. So I was looking for something that, if people want me to, I can give back, because this is not a medium that frightens me or worries me. But mainly, it was something I could do and enjoy. Because, you know, like you probably got 30 or 40. To be honest, I've got a daughter older than you. I have. The fact is that I want to spend this third age with my soulmate doing the things we want to do and enjoy it. Now, at the moment, it's a bit frustrating because I'm one kind of personality and Barbara's the other. But the fact is that I'm more intuitive. I'm more, what's the word you used for you?
Impulsive.
Impulsive, that's a good word.
Passionate's a better word.
Yes,
the nicer word. Yeah, we're passionate.
Yeah, I much prefer passionate.
Yeah, it's better than impulsive, isn't it?
Yeah, but the fact is that the things I like about what's happening to me now is in October I decided to go on a journey. Every journey I've had to go on, I've had to go and find the root source of what makes makes it work, the recipe, if you like.
Yep.
The nice thing about Relentless was I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Because somebody else had done it. 3 people named Vicky, Pete, and Handy had found the secret sauce. They'd built the recipe. All I had to do was go with my ladle and ladle into it and take out as much or as little as I wanted. The indicators and all the other things were all there. All I had to do was bring the stuff between here and willpower, desire, passion into it. And I haven't been disappointed. If I saw Pete in the street with his hairstyle, I'd probably turn around and walk the other way. But the fact of the matter is, he's a pretty genuine guy. And I'm sorry, when I last saw you live, Man Bun didn't exist.
Man Bun Wars.
Man Bun Wars. I'm not much back here, but
you're doing all right, mate.
I'm not bad, I'm not complaining. But to me, it was such a revelation not to have to go and read every single book God gave me to try and find out how this works. If I had to do that, I wouldn't have done it.
And that is the thing. A lot of people, and we never ever, as much as we, like to have a presence on social media and stuff, and it's great when people join, we never sell it to people. And if people go, oh, I can find out all this myself on YouTube and the internet, absolutely you can, 100%. Yeah. And there's books you can read and stuff, and absolutely, we live in an age where there's information at our fingertips via your phone. If I wanted to learn about any subject in the world, whether it be brain surgery, rocket science, drop shipping, Forex, it's their sort of thing. But what we've tried to do, as you say, it's very kind of you to say it, is to make it really simple. Here's the recipe, follow that, and at the end of it, you'll have this amazing cake, which is to be a funded trader, which is, the majority of people are working towards, and we're up to maybe 15 to 20 or so now, and I'm sure we'll get to 100 or so by the end of the year. But we tried to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid.
This is it. The odd kiss analogy, you see.
Yeah. Look, life is complicated enough. I can assure you, I'm quite much better. I'm more pleased I live in Cyprus than I do back in the UK.
There's a few things going on, yeah.
Cyprus is really Britain in the 60s. It's much more simple. All right, I live in a place where every other person is either Chinese or Russian. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is, 95% of those people speak some sort of English. It doesn't matter. I tried to learn Cypriot or Greek.
Okay.
Forget it. But the fact is, it doesn't matter. No, what appealed to us was simply that we didn't have to do all the legwork that we'd done in the past. Yeah. And it was with nice people. Hey, Gandhi, the last time I saw a chapter of that brig, Barbara had roses in it. Talking about stream. But anyway, I have seen your development over the last few years and realized that you're in a good place with the right product at the right time. Because Forex isn't going to be here forever, isn't it? It's never going to disappear.
It's I've had various debates with various people about, people think that, the oldest profession in the world is sales, or they think it's, selling something. But it is trading, whether you're trading something, camels for goats, for rocks to caves to everything. It's trading, whether, and this is developed over time from, rice and wheat and pork bellies to different currencies to crypto to indices to the US 30 to the NASDAQ. And there's always going to be, trading. And I watched a fantastic film the other day called 97% Owned, which is now on Netflix. I saw it 6 or 7 years ago. So the production value isn't great, but now it's on Netflix, it's a bit more accessible. But it just explains how the whole monetary system works globally. Now, whether you agree with it or not, it does seem a little bit fixed to a degree, but don't hate the player, hate the game. At least know the game that you're playing, and then you can get a slice of it. And as you know, it's a crazy number. $6 trillion a day is moved in this market, and all we do is teach people to take a tiny sliver of that. And as with everything, going back to the MLM model, which we've both moved away from, it's leverage. But rather than having a team of 200 people, as I did, and as I know you did and had more, doing all that stuff for you, you just have a bigger account, which you get from someone else. And that's where the leverage comes from. The flip side, and we've had a number of people move across from MLM to ourselves. And I think this is the biggest mind shift that people have to have. And I've been lucky and done quite well with FX recently, so I've been able to get on a mindset coach who helps me with stuff like this. But it's, as much as we educate people and surround people with the right information and the right indicators and the right people, at the end of the day, it's you, Roger, pressing that button buy or sell. So you can't blame your team, you can't blame the product. It's that 100%, which I love about it, is that 100% accountability. You can't blame anyone. You can't blame spread. You can't blame slippage. People try to. They try and blame the broker. They try and blame the prop firm. They try and blame support. But it's accountability, isn't it? It's that, well, this is, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. It's that which I love.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't miss the 10 o'clock phone calls from my team in an MLM. I don't miss any of that. I don't miss the fact I do not need one of these. Because I don't trade on the phone.
Nor me.
In my life at all.
Yeah.
That's mine. I don't think I've used it in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, that's why I WhatsApp Barbara, not you, because you never answer.
But the fact is that as much as I enjoy that, I love the people, some of them. Anyway, within that sphere, I love the fact that if it's to be, it's up to me.
Yes.
This morning I've made $2.64 because I put a trade on just before, and it sat there for about 15-20 minutes. And Bob said, "You better take that off because you're going to be dealing with Andy. You could be on a long time knowing you two." So I took it off. But the fact is, I placed a pending order on Monday. I forgot about it. I shut down my computer thinking I'd shut down my pending order.
Oh no, that's still there.
But I hadn't. So it's fortunate on Tuesday morning I woke up and found I'd made $669.
In your sleep?
In my sleep. Pure luck, pure accident. Well, no, the actual trade was brilliant. I put it on
it still counts.
But the fact is, as Barbara said, thank God it was 665 up, not 665 down. Because I'm passionate about this. I want to be, I'm trading a dummy account. Yeah. What does that mean? It's not my money. It's like having a piece of paper and writing it all down, and it has no real relevance to anything. But to me, it is. Every pound I lose is like me putting my hand in my pocket, and I'm actually losing my money.
Yep.
And that's the mindset that I don't treat it flippantly, because this can change even my life. Because I've still got places to go and people to see. So I don't treat it as like Sudoku or crosswords or the jigsaw or painting or the other things. It is, as Bill Shankly said, it's more important than that.
Yeah.
And that's the way I've done everything in life. It's got to matter, else why bother? I am looking forward to the point when I can do a challenge. I'm not there yet, but I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the point when I have true skin in the game. Although I believe in it now, I believe that that's the way I trade now, even my dummy account, that I've got skin in the game. Because if you do that and you do it and you're religiously, you come to TNS, or you apply yourself in getting better every day, like looking at the Candle Bible, like my little book here, most people have a little red book. I've got a little pink book.
Okay, trade journal.
It isn't a trade journal as such. It's got all my little notes that I've taken over the time that I've been doing this. Little pages.
So after last night's live training, you'd have put some notes in there.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep. Like one thing, nothing is certain. Anything can happen and probably will. Manage risk and breathe. There's always another trade. Challenge yourself and have fun. And I've written that in big letters, underlined it 3 or 4 times, because there's no point in doing it if it becomes a drudge. You've got to enjoy it. Share your successes and your failures.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the Discord, in the sense that people share their successes. But sometimes it's nice to share, because what was it somebody said last night? I think it was even Vicky. Oh, she forgot to put the stop loss. What do you call it?
Oh, she put the wrong lot size in.
Wrong lot size.
Wrong lot size. No, because I said no one takes a partial on a loss. And then, I did last week. Brilliant.
Yeah, but the fact is, you realise then that shit, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Another thing that I found from Pete was that he doesn't win every trade, and that takes me back to our motivation times when I've had the pleasure of seeing Michael Jordan play at the United Center in Chicago.
Wow.
But when you hear him and you see that guy play and you think, God, he is the magnificent, you don't realize that to make his 5,000 baskets a year, he takes 50,000 shots. That's an example. I don't know the numbers exactly. No. And when you're in America, they all talk about Babe Ruth, say, and he's a .69 hitter. And you think, what's all that about? It means that out of every 10 hits that he tries, he only scores off 6.9 of them.
Yeah.
Now that makes him a hero, because most of the top guys who earn billions of dollars playing baseball in America only hit 3 hits out of 10.
Yeah.
Now that's the same with this.
Yes.
You've got to learn to lose a few trades before you can actually accept the fact you're going to win a few.
Yep.
It is inherently simple, this. You get a computer. Now, this is the bit that you download a TradingView. It took me about a week. You download an MD4, which thank God I've got a wife. Then you're basically, that's your business. And then you go and learn what it's all about. And you can do it. It's a bit like the ultimate, everybody on PlayStation or Xbox who races cars is a world champion, because they can crash the car 95,000 times and win the world championship. Well, that's a bit like this here. You can crash, you can have a dummy account and make mistakes. And really, although I take it personally, you don't have to worry about it, because it's cost you what? Nothing, a bit of time.
Yep.
And I know people, and I know you, and I know the changes made to your life, and the change you can make to people is real. It's not like hoping your team stays together. God knows, I don't know how many teams I've built in network marketing over the years, because they just crumble away. This can be so much more if that's what you wanted to be. God, I sound like a vicar, don't I? The sermon for today, people, is...
Well, that's it. And as we say, it's not going anywhere. And, I know that hopefully this will give inspiration to many people who are, we briefly touched on it earlier. It's purpose. You do live a comfortable life, but you're looking for something more, I think, and you're looking for that purpose, and you're looking for that positive association. And I know that you've massively taken yourself out of your comfort zone, in terms of, I didn't know what Discord was until a year ago, and now I'm on it most days. But you just learn it. Likewise, MT4. You look at it and you go, not a clue. but you just learn it. Trading view, what? Not a clue, but you just learn it, and it's just association and time. And I think you're a huge one for having that belief in. I think it twigged with you actually, although I'm not there yet in terms of my knowledge and my execution and stuff, but your belief is there in terms of this is going to change our lives.
Yeah.
Which I think you grasped quite early.
Yeah. Look, as I said, when you reach my time of life, I don't have to go to work. Through various different things I've done over the life, I now have a lifestyle. But life has got to be more than just getting up in the morning and going to the beach as we do in the summer. So it's wonderful, but it has to have more purpose.
Yeah.
And finding something that can give you that purpose that suits your style, your personality, and give you a reward at the end of the day is wonderful. Because, as I said, I can only do so many things that retired people can do. The problem with a place like this is most of the retired people end up getting a drink addiction because that's all they seem to do. They go out to meet at the bars and everything else. Well, that's not my style. I gave up drinking lots of stuff years and years ago. I don't particularly enjoy it anymore. But I still enjoy the interaction with people. So not going to the bar is a bit difficult because I then lose the opportunity to interact with people.
Yeah.
Find out what they do, find out how they are, learn something from them.
Yeah, we're social beings.
Yes, very much. And that's partly what I haven't been very good at it recently, but that's what I like about things like Relentless. You can build a community of like-minded people who share the same journey, help each other. I just don't think there's a better. I'm a bit of a zealot, I suppose, in the sense that I've done a lot of things in my life, some of it singular, some of it group. But the fact of the matter is we all need each other. And the more we can do together, the better it will be. And that's what I admire Pete for. He doesn't need us. He doesn't need us. He can sit in his little eyrie that he's got there in North Wales, or in his bloody tent, wherever it is in the Lake District today. He doesn't need us. You don't need us. Vicky doesn't need us. But the fact of the matter is, you've been prepared to pay forward and pay back, which I'm very humble for, because I realize that you don't need it. You do it because you enjoy it. Probably you do want it in some way. I don't know. But Pete sits there every morning for 5 days in his little area there, trying to pass on his information. Like, I'm sure he's a very, he's a really good teacher because he's patient.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have him. He's an exceptional educator.
Yes, he is. He doesn't appreciate himself. I don't think he even thinks about it. But that's what makes him so special, because he's doing it because he loves doing it. It isn't because he feels he has to do it. And that's what makes his part of, or his involvement in Relentless so good for people like me and all people like me.
Yeah, and I think, switching back to what we chatted about MLM earlier, you can't beat us because we want everyone to succeed. And again, go back to, I think it's a Jim Rohn quote. If you get everyone to get what they want, you'll get what you want. But we, as you say, for ourselves as owners, that the money's not in the education side of stuff. The money's in managing our own funded accounts. But what we gain from a personal point of view, and I won't go into all the stuff he's doing with hero transformations and Icky guides and life purposes and all that sort of stuff. But it's a big tick in the box for us if we keep creating more and more funded traders and giving people that skill, particularly at the moment. People are looking for something else. The government's not going to come and help people, as we know. But that gives us this huge. It's that warm feeling. It's that icky guy. It's that thing you feel inside yourself when at the end of the day you go, do you know what? I think we've really helped. And even last night it was brilliant. There was something I can't remember what it was. It might have been you with lot sizes, or it might have been Bob with lot sizes, but something twigged, and Bob went, "Yes, that's it. I get it now. That was the missing piece that I didn't," and it was lovely that there was just something.
She does this all the time. The only thing she doesn't understand at the moment, which is Pete's next challenge next week, is breaks and structure. But she did it with price action.
Right.
She's always challenging me. It drives me nuts. She said, "What's price action?" I said, "Ask Pete." What if I don't know? And she said, "I know what it is." Because she'd spent 2 whole days reading and rereading the
Candlestick Bible. Yeah.
And
Morning Stars and Doges.
Yeah. Now, the first part of this book is about all the candles, what they do, how they do it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, I can't see any setups. Let's go back to the Bible, see what I need to look for. And I said, we often, what's a dragonfly, and what's that? That harami.
Yeah.
How do you, and we're sitting here across the table. We didn't think we could actually do that because we are totally different. But we do manage to actually share a table together. Like this is Barbara's phone, mine's over there, my computer, and move forward. Like I am impulsive. So this morning
passionate.
I put on something. I saw something. I did my necessarily in my head. Well, actually, I had that. I did all the things I needed.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
All right, we got that done in the local print shop.
Nice.
And I put it on, and then she came in about half an hour later, and she said, "Have you got anything on?" I said, "Yeah." Well, why did you put that on? I said, "I don't know." He said, "I just did it," and it went all the right way. So I made a few bob this morning, but the fact was I'd done all the confluences on that. It was on the cot. It was daily strength. It was AD high low. All the things were there, but of course she turned around and said, "Well, why did you put that one on? And why did you put it on for that?" And I'm thinking, Jesus, heavens above. So I'm waiting for the day. She's not done it yet, where she actually gets into doing her own, putting her trades on, and all the.
But you see, we were chatting before we came on air about you. You were saying, you're not there yet. It's a long journey, all this sort of stuff. But there you are, just rattling off. It was on the COT. Oh right, about the commitment to traders report. It was on the DCSR. Oh, the daily currency strength report. Oh, right. Okay. Was it the ADR high? Oh right, the average daily range. Like so much stuff.
Yes.
And you're making money. You're sat in the sunny climates. Your streets ahead of what a lot of Relentless members where they want to be already. You just don't know it yourself yet.
No. Well, the thing was, we were sitting down the other day talking, and we were saying, well, when did we actually really see this? And Barbara said 28th of October. Oh, don't ask Barbara a date. She knows every damn date.
Oh, women do, mate. Women do.
She can tell you when the Queen or something happened, and you say, how do you know that person's birthday?
Birthdays. Whose birthdays?
Yeah, I actually checked her out. I did a fact checker on her one day. She did this thing, and I thought, I'm going to check you out, and she was right.
I don't even know the name of my mate's kids. Like, I'm useless.
Yeah. I can't remember what yesterday. Anyway, that's by the way. She said we decided to do this on October the 28th. So what we did on October the 28th was became really involved with Relentless.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We then decided that we would go and find out what we needed. We knew we needed different tech. So we went and bought 2 second-hand Dell Compute laptops that were Windows, which we'd never use in our lives. If you've never used a Windows and you've always been Apple,
serves you right for going to the dark side to start with.
I got an Apple in a minute, I tell you. But the fact of the matter is, we had to learn a completely new process.
Yeah.
From going from Apple to Windows. So that itself was a challenge.
Mm.
But then we got into reading the Candlestick Bible. I've read not the trading book that you recommended, not the turtle one, the other one.
Trading in the Zone.
That's it. and all about being it's in here. It isn't about anything. It's all mindset,
100%.
which I'm good at. So we basically we heard the first training. We went and logged in to one of your Wednesday night trainings, and we might as well have been talking Martian because we understood nothing. Now, and it's only probably 8 weeks, if that, if you think about it. November, December, forget December because it was all Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
November and January, we're in the 26th of January. I've gone from knowing nothing to being able to sit here with my DCSR pairs, sitting there and play. I played my first trade on the 3rd of January.
Okay.
I'm a bit behind on my spreadsheet. I haven't got it up to date. But if it hadn't been for not realizing that I'd lose my MT4 because Radek's only keeping for 30 days, and then trying to get another one, which was the downside. We're not computer savvy, so it's a trial in itself. But now I know I'm going to lose it again in another 6 days, but at least I think I can get it back on again much quicker. Being able to, as I said, if I hadn't have had my wobble a few weeks ago, like I think I'm down a bit at the moment, I probably would have been in a plus at the moment. And all right, that might be blowing my own trumpet, but a lot of it's been luck. When you go to bed and
you make your own luck.
665, but I've learned, not to be greedy.
Yeah. Profit's profit.
I learned partials. I've learned pending orders. I've learned all those things that even a month ago, even 2 weeks ago, my pending orders 2 weeks ago were a voodoo science to me. But now, this morning, I put 2 pending orders on.
So, knowing you as I do, you'll be a goal-setting man. I'd like to do another one of these chats in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
Where's Roger going to be at the end of June in terms of trading?
I want to be a funded trader.
Okay.
100 grand account.
Okay.
And I want to still be enjoying it.
Yep.
I like to think somewhere down the line, I could give something back. And it's more about the enjoyment of the journey.
Yeah.
The money will be. I won't lie and turn around to say to you a couple of €100 a month wouldn't make a big difference to our lives, because it would. But that's really the goal at this moment that we have. I've got my dream board, but it's more about experiences and things, because I've had the things and they don't bring you much joy really. But the experiences that you once had of being with people and sharing the events. When you sit down with a group of people and you realize Barbara and I realize what we've actually been able to do. We lived in America. We've had numerous businesses, some successful, some not. We've been able to travel lots of places all around the world. When we sold our business, we spent 6 weeks in New Zealand. Now that would be a nice place to go and live. Not just for the rugby, but also because it's a nice place to go and live. And I could do Forex there.
Yes.
Not that we will. Cyprus is about as far as we'll go now. But all I will say to people is that there is something here. What that something is up for you to define. But the fact of the matter is it's here. And for a minimal, if you've already got a laptop, you've already got a mobile phone, God knows how they do it on the mobile phone, but they do. And you are prepared to invest, I don't know how much even Relentless is at the moment, if it's 50 quid.
50 quid a month.
50 quid a month, which you probably, if you think about it, you could probably go out for a meal to a restaurant and spend that quite easily in one night.
You've not been out for a meal in England for a long time. You're spending more than 50 quid, mate.
Well, there we are, you see. I told you. I can in Cyprus. I can meet you quite
50 quid in Pizza Hut.
But for that, you've got a low cost entry. If you're prepared to put your side into it, to something that quite simply could and may change your life. You know, I've no doubt about that. And as I said, we're not daft. We're here because it can change our lives as well, even later on in life. Because life doesn't stop just because you get a few grey hairs, Andy. You know, yeah.
It's the beard that gives it away.
Well, it is. I wouldn't have a beard because it does show you how old you are. You know, like if I grew a beard, I look like bloody Father Christmas. So I don't do it. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not here to blow smoke up anybody, and I'm not here to promote you, Vicky or Pete. I'm not here to sell Relentless. I'm here to say that the opportunity still knocks. But you've got to be prepared, if opportunity knocks, to open the door and see what it is. The trouble is, most people just won't or can't or are too afraid to take that chance. You know, I admire people like Steve. I admire people like John, Paul, all the people that are on the Discord and TNS aren't really like Barbara and I, because we could sit here all day, and we have sat here all day and looked at charts and done all the things. They have to fit this into the cracks of their lives. But if they did that, then Nate wouldn't have to go out on freezing days with his window cleaning equipment and probably have to go and buy a new set of hands at the end of the day because they're so frozen. Or, you know, John wouldn't have to go and work ridiculous hours in shifts. We've all got things we need to do, but that was the thing that I bought out of MLM more than anything. Was it was something you fit in the nooks and crannies of your day. Well, that's what you can do with this. You know, we do OB trading, but there are other trading methods. Like you and Vicky were talking the other day. You know, you work in days. You don't work in necessarily 20-minute hours or 4-hour blocks. You actually do it over a period of time.
Yeah, I mean, there's without getting into too much detail, there's different types of trading. For me, what I liked about swing trading over days or weeks is it enables me to do what I want to do during the day. So, you know, I go to the gym every day. I have a sauna every day.
In between going to the restaurants,
and then I go to restaurants as well, and occasionally pop out for dinner, and occasionally go watch a bit of sport and coach a bit of rugby and do some other stuff. So that suits me. And in terms of my personality, but you know, it's different for different people. But yes, you can, you know, as we talked about last night on the trade last night, you could have put a trade on 6 days ago, one trade at 11 o'clock at night, left it for 6 days, and you'd be 650 pips up. Whether that's, you know, even if it's £1 a pip, let alone.
I do understand.
Or £100 a pip.
Show you where I have no idea what you're talking about.
6 months time. 6 months time.
The fact of the matter is, I do understand, but you know what I mean. I'm quite happy to sit here and see the candles do what they do, and at the end of the day, be grateful for what I've made or lost. You know, I have to admit I don't like losing, but the fact of the matter is, it is part of the business. Because I go back to what I said about Michael Jordan and Babe Ruth and all these people. You know, using a cricket analogy, Bob Willis doesn't expect to get a wicket with every ball he throws, but he's was one of the top bowlers in the world.
Oh, 100%. And, you know, going back to Michael Jordan, and also, you know, whether it be Forex or a different entrepreneurship or a different opportunity, you know, you will miss 100% of the shots that you do not take.
That's a Michael Jordan quote. Yeah,
Michael Jordan quote.
Absolutely.
And you know, again, opportunities aren't missed; they're taken by other people.
Yeah. We can all look back on our lives, and we've had more chance to look back than you and see, well, if we'd have done that rather than that, we would be there rather than here.
You took a chance. You
took the chance, you know, and all right, we're taking a chance with Relentless and with Forex, but for us, it's less of a chance because it isn't something that is. Well, no, I'd be a lie. There are things we still want to do. The most important thing for us at the moment is stay healthy And unfortunately, being here is a healthier lifestyle than being in the UK. But other than that, there are still things we've always wanted to aspire to that we've not actually yet done.
Mm-hmm.
And if we achieve what we're going, well, when we achieve what we're going to achieve with Forex and Relentless, we will do those things. We will come over to the UK to one of the events and bump into all the people. And, oh, that's what you look like. I thought you were 6 foot tall. You're only 5'2". Sorry, Pete.
Pete gets a lot of grief.
I never actually meant Pete.
You said Pete. Sorry, he's not watching. He's walking in the hills. He's fine.
Yeah, but he'll watch a repeat of this, won't he? So I'm going to get a lot of. No, Pete's my favourite.
He's
Pete
a good
is
lad.
my favourite.
He is a good lad.
Yeah. I like you, but Pete's my favourite.
I'll take that. Right, buddy. We have chatted for over 50 minutes. And I know that all the people who are lined up to do Relentless interviews like that, I'm not talking to Hankin for 50 minutes, so they'll all be nervous. But we knew this was going to be a long one, and it has flown by as I knew it would.
Yeah.
Hopefully this has given inspiration to anyone who has caught a clip of this and how this has changed your outlook and how it's going to change your future as well. And we'll do another one if that's all right with you in 6 months time, just to see. Now you put it out to the university, you want to be a 100K funded trader by the end of the year. We'll be able to monitor that progress, but appreciate your honesty and appreciate you just sharing your journey and what you've got out of Relentless so far, because I know there's lots more to come.
Yeah, no, look, I've enjoyed it. I always enjoyed talking with you. You know that. The number of times we have spent time talking when we should have been doing, but the fact is, this is one of those times. I'm blessed. I have, people say to me, there's a song that says, regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. The song, I won't sing it, but
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I can honestly say that's been our life.
Mm-hmm.
It's not been all bells and whistles. We've had some dark days. We've had some dark days since we've been in Cyprus. But the fact is, you have to find something to motivate you, to get you out of bed.
Purpose.
You've used that word many times, and that's we're now got a purpose. We get up in the morning, whereas we would sit reading the Daily Mail on our computers. Now I can't keep Barbara away from the computer on the trades.
Anything that keeps you away from the Daily Mail is a good thing.
Well, I agree, but it's anything we get without spending money on. But the fact is, somebody once said to me, they said, if you want to change your life, don't read newspapers. Because they don't tell you anything you really need or want to hear. They just tell you about, these days, the lives of celebrities that do nothing to get vast wealth, and everybody now thinks that's the norm, or disaster.
Yeah.
And whenever you're feeling down, just look up. I said, what do you mean? Just look up. He said, because when you look up, you suddenly find yourself, your face becomes a smile.
Yep.
And that there's so much life's hard, but it's only as hard as you make it. And I admire some of the people I know that you get a feeling for their journey within Relentless, and you really, really want them to achieve the journey. And this is a vehicle that can allow them to do that. So I'm looking forward to a weekend of rugby. Exeter playing Gloucester, that will be a bloodbath.
Yes, it will.
Even though we're losing most of our players, a lot of them to Sale.
Do you know what? I bumped into Sam Hill in the sauna the other day. He was telling me about his time down at Exeter.
Yeah.
Good guy.
You know he's gay, don't you?
What?
Well, sauna, you, yeah. We've just got Mark Wilson, so we've replaced him now.
Okay, good player.
He used to play for Leicester and Bath. 6'8", 20 stone.
Sizable.
Yeah, yeah. And adding salt into the wound, guess who qualified second in their group in the Heineken Cup? Where did Sale end up? Oh,
yeah. We're not going to talk about that. Yeah, that was an unfortunate game, but yeah, doing all right in the Premiership. We're doing all right
for now.
for now.
All right, look, I'm going to let you go. We could be here all day yakking. Now we're now going to sport, which is dangerous ground.
This is it. Right, buddy. A pleasure as always. Catch up very soon. Thank you for your time, and yeah, we'll be watching.
I hope people find it of value. That's the most important thing.
Anyone got any questions or comments or anything? Pop them under the whichever platform you're watching on, and we will do this again soon.
Yep.
Cheers, Rog.
Yeah. Cheers, mate.
See you later, bud. Bye.